Now someone had requested me to explain the parcheesi equations again. Okay? So just keep in mind, see the position 3. Now actually I'm not considering position 1 and position 2, but I'm directly going to position 3 because it is very clear because I want to find the values of A, B, C, D, E and F. I cannot do anything with position 1 and 2. Now see the position where the black is placed and where the white is placed. After tossing a coin, it is not in my hand whether a head will come out or a tail will come out. But whether to move or to wait, it is like a dominant and a dominated strategy. I'm just using a connecting link. If I move, then white, which was here, will move 2 positions and he will definitely win with probability 1 because he has already completed his part. If he decides to stay, he will be stuck at this position, and then whatever comes, black will move and black will win. So after a head comes up, it is clear that I need to choose or I need to decide to move. Waiting will not give me any outcome. I will definitely lose. So a dominant strategy is moving. Similarly, if tail comes up, it is clear that I need to move. Use the similar logic. I don't need to wait. And in that scenario, moving will be a dominant strategy. Please see once again. After moving, I will definitely win. No, after moving, there is a probability 1 minus d. But if I remain stuck there, then black will definitely get his turn and he will move 1 place or 2 places. And the final rule has an exception that either you can move 1 place or 2 places. So he will win. So probability is 0. So that is why it is optimal to move. So that is why when I am forming equations, compound probability. So A is equals to half compound probability. There are 2 possibilities. Head may come up or tail may come up. Not in my hand. But definitely I am opting to move. So half into 1 plus half into 1 minus d. Because there is at least some probability 1 minus d that I am winning compared to 0. So you can form an equation in this way. Then I am going to position number 6. Okay. Now you see head may come up or tail may come up. Use the similar logic once again. Now this 1 and 1 what it is written, it is only means that one possibility and one other possibility. Now if I move, remember white is moving. White was here, and if he moves 2 places when head comes up, he will overlap on black and black will go to its starting position. So now it's black's turn, okay, because white has finished his turn. So depending on whether head comes or tail comes, if tail comes then 1 position, head comes then 2 position, then white will have to go to its position. So there is a probability 1 minus d if he moves of winning, because there are 2 chances that, and there is least probability that he may win. But if he decides to remain where he is, then black will get its turn and black will win. So here in a similar way I have to select 1 minus d because it is a greater probability. That is my dominant strategy. Similarly, whether I move or I wait when tail comes up, I will definitely lose, because black will go further when his turn comes up. So whatever I select, whether to move or to wait, it doesn't make a difference because probabilities are zero. Okay, so you can select any of that, and you all don't have to be bothered, because how anything multiplied by zero, by the fundamental rule of tabular arithmetic, it is zero. So d will be half into 1 minus d. I'm considering this case, heads and 1 minus d. Then tails half into 0, any of that I take, it will be 0 again, it will add nothing to my expression. Therefore 2d is equals to 1 minus d. Therefore 3d is equals to 1. Okay, I'm continuing below. D is equals to 1 by 3. So now you have found the value of d, and you have found one expression here. So you can substitute the value of d and find the value of a. This is called as induction, where one variable is linked to the other. Find a value of one, find a value of the other. Induction is not like using the finding the value of p of 1 and p of k and p of k plus 1. Induction has a deeper meaning. Induction means you prove the condition for 1, then having proved for 1, you relate the condition up to k terms, and then having proved up from 1 to k, prove for one more term, k plus 1. So we are using relations here. So that is why you find the value of d. Then you can go to this position. I will not write any expressions here, but if you all have understood what I have tried to explain up till now, it will be now 1 minus a, because I found the value of a whatever after substituting d is equals to 1 by 3. I get 1 minus a 1 by 6. Similar logic use here for heads. I have to select 1, because 1 will be anyhow greater than or equal to 1 minus b. It may be equal also if b is 0, but b cannot be 0, ideal case. So I have to select, I have to decide to move. That is my dominant strategy. Probability is 1. Moving or waiting is dependent on what is the probability of my winning. So I decide, and that is very clear. Now 1 minus a and 1 minus b. I know 1 minus a is 1 by 6. So then I have to consider values. Okay, I have to consider values of 1 minus b. If 1 minus b is greater than 1 by 6, then I will consider 1 minus b, that is to wait. And if 1 minus b is less than 1 by 6, I will have to consider to move, because 1 minus a will be 1 by 6, which is greater than 1 minus b. So I have to take two cases, okay? Cases I have to take. And then I have to form equation. That is, if 1 minus b is greater than 1 by 6, then I will consider 1 minus b, that is waiting. And if it is less than 1 by 6, then I will consider 1 minus a, because that is 1 by 6 which is greater. Okay, so moving or waiting. Similarly, I will deduce equations and I will find out. Okay, similarly you have to do for position number 5, position number 7, and position number 8. And finally when you consider position number 8, okay, that is finding the value of f. F is position 8. Example, what is logic involved here is, two people are starting a race. When people bet in a race, when there are no odds against each other, that both are starting at the same time, if already the race is about to be finished, then why should I consider, why should I bet? Because I will be having an upper hand over the other. But only initial conditions are given and both are at the same scenario, then only I place a bet. So F is a position where white makes a move. See position 3. White makes a move because the probability is 1. So if the value of F is greater than half, what it means? Logically, if two players are playing, if my probability of winning is more than 50%, then I have an upper hand over the other. Probability is an idealistic measure, it is not something real measure. Then only what I have considered cases and I have moved and all, that will be trivial. If f is less than half, that means I will lose. That means white began. Somebody has to begin a game, no? So white began. So if the probability was greater than half, then it would be better for him to move. If f is less than half, then moving was a wrong strategy. Then I will have to use black strategy because black is winning, no? If I am losing, somebody else is winning, so I have to only use his strategy. So that is how induction plays a major role here. You will get the values like 17 by 24 and all. Only it tells you what is an upper hand of winning in a game. Okay, who has a better chance of winning with all these moves. Parcheesi may remain infinite if both decide not to move only. There may be also cases where in Akansha's part I read, both players are irrational. They don't know whether to move or whether to wait. What is an optimal thing to do? Or what is the best thing to do? What I may consider as a dominant strategy may be a dominated strategy for you and vice versa. So this logic may not be applied here, but here we know what we have to take. That is why only we are looking at 6 boxes and 3 positions to win. Now I can make it more smaller by making it only 4 boxes or something, but it won't be because at least I have to consider 3 places to move, because only if there were 2 places to win, then if a head comes up, then directly I will move 2 places and I will win the game. So I don't have to form only equation. Probability will be 50%. So at least the smallest case I have considered. If I take a larger picture of Ludo, then there will be so many boxes, and by combinatorial meaning there will be so many positions, okay, and there will be 2 raised to something 2 raised to m positions where m is greater than 6. So that many equations, 2 raised to m equations we'll have to find out and then use relations and find, which is very hectic. So we use a simplified form. I hope this is clear up till now, and we are done with parcheesi.